facing down. There we go. So let's just see if it's bright or too bright. Or maybe too bright. Let's leave it like this. Um, so today I thought I would share my process of making a new collection of sculptures. Um, so this is the idea, is to make some more of these nests. These nests I have sketched out as part of my illustrations, and I wanted to make the little characters that are in my illustrations in a three-dimensional way. So recently I've been looking for how to do that, and so I've decided I wanted to play around with some clay. So these ones I created yesterday, and I'm going to be making some more because I like to make things in a collection. So these ones are drying out here. I think this was this my second one? This is my second one, but it's drying out a lot faster than the first one. But yeah, so these were quite interesting to figure out how to make these little quirky shapes. Um, and in my drawings, I have them as perfect circles, but in nature, that wouldn't necessarily be the case. They'd be quite quirky. So yeah, I'm fine with the way that they've turned out, and I love them. So I'm going to be trying to create some more of these today. I'm just going to put these on their a different angle so they can dry, like the underside. And I'll get to working on a new batch. So yeah, this has been fun trying to figure out how to go about doing this and trying to work out from the sizes what will do what. I think this would work on just one of these. So I usually would pinch off a bit that's going to be for the bird. Like, this is quite a substantial bit. I'll put this back in my plastic. And then work on this bit. Just rounding it off. I have some tools beside me here. So round it off a little bit, and then I kind of like make it into a little bit pointier at one bit, just a little bit, not too much. And I've been trying different ways of doing this, and this is the way I've come up with doing it. It's probably not as easy as it could be, but it's the one I'm using. So I just push this in, this tool I've got. There's different tools I've got here to use. Push this in so far, and then kind of just move my hand around and feel my way in the bottom there. I'm trying not to push too hard into it, but I'm trying to make the hole bigger inside, but mainly in the deeper bit of it. So when I think I've got a big enough gap in there, then I will change tact and do something else. So yeah, I've set up some time for this, and so we'll see how we go. I wanted to record this earlier, so I could still try answering questions if you sent me comments, but I wanted to do this earlier because I've got a few other things to do today. But as always, I still want to bring you something on a Wednesday. Last week I really just took time off because I was tired. This is the kids' holiday, and I just wanted that day off to rest because it's busy, busy, busy. Just busy planning mostly. That's what that was for. So I needed the time to do that because of this planning, and then there's doing, and that all takes time. So I've just been digging out and just moving, sliding this along to make that hole a bit bigger. So I don't have to make it too big, but I'll show you what I do next. So now that I've done that and made a little, because there's different ways you could go with this, you can create something else from this. I will kind of just start looking at actually joining this together, and I usually cut some of this out. So I'll just put this down and get my clay glue here. Just gonna mix it around my brush that I've got here. I'm realizing there's another brush I usually use that's not here, but I can use this one. If I need a bigger one, I'll get another one. So this clay glue is just a mix of clay, water, right, okay, I've just remembered something I need to do I've not done yet. If I could just find one of my other tools here. So many different things on this table. I'm gonna use this one because I can't see it at the moment for some reason. So I'm gonna use one of these to roughen these edges off. It's like a brush. So this is for trying to join this together, so I'll just put this. Hope I'm staying in shot for this, so it's just to put some of that and then to join it together. This feels a lot thicker than I did yesterday, but that's fine. And what I've been finding is that this shape here that sticks out at this bit is usually going to be the back. So then I'm going to cut into this and to make a hole. So this is a lot thicker. And put this here. So it's a lot thicker than usually. And then I just basically carve this shape here. And if there's excess, I'll take some off. And just take my time and carve it. So these characters are in my illustrations, and they are just characters I add into my work, into my illustrations, because I love birds. And they're inspired by, in Nigeria, you get weaver birds, you get birds that weave their nests. And that's kind of where the idea came from, I think, from when I was a young child. And I've just added them into my work since then. So I wanted to make, anytime I make work, I always try to make a collection. So those were quite thinner ones yesterday. I'm trying to see if this is gonna be, so I want to form like a bottom for this as well. So I'm gonna push this down on this as well. So it's like a little nest. I've got it on a little wheel, which I'll show you. It spins round. And I'm just shaping it. And pinching it, like the pinch pot idea. So that was that small hole, and it's gotten quite stretched out. So this might look a little different. And if I don't like it, I can start again. So it's just to see, try out different things and see how it works. Got some water here. So for me, it's just to have a little dome area that I can put my bird in. Yeah, I've just remembered, if you've not been here before, my name is Beatrice Ajayi and I am an artist. I've been saying multidisciplinary artist recently because I like to use different mediums to create artwork. And this is one of the ways I like to bring work to life is through sculpture. Like I usually use air dry clay, but this clay actually needs to be fired in a kiln, so it's a different approach. So I am going ahead and using this technique for the first time. So it's going to be interesting to see what colors I can glaze this with and bring this to life with. So I'm just really enjoying it. And having the space to be able to just take my time and create this. And then I'm kind of deciding how it should look as well. So I have, like I said, used air dry clay. So I'm trying to be relaxed with that same idea. But this is a whole other complex level. Um, you know, like you have to put it in the kiln the first time round and turn it into like the bisque stage. And then after that, you have to then glaze it and work on, you know, carefully adding the glaze and deciding what colors you want to put on it, and then putting it back in the kiln and seeing what that looks like again as well. So different process, never done it, so I'm bringing you along on that journey and just feeling my way along. Basically, I am so I'm trying to remember all the things that I'm supposed to do to make sure that this comes out how it should. So it was really exciting to see these from yesterday, how they look. This one feels a lot thicker. So I'll see if this is a good way to go, or if, because then it'll be more substantial, isn't it? And these could be made a lot bigger than I'm making them right now, but I wanted these to be able to be portable and small, and people can take them with them and they're not too heavy or anything. Also, yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what kind of packaging I can make for this. So here you can see what it looks like now. And I was thinking maybe for at least one or so of these that I might do some other design on it. I don't know. I'll create the bird and I'll keep thinking about what design I could make on it, you know, like some other marks other than just being smooth like these ones, like maybe lines. Maybe I'll do that now just to see, while I'm like the idea of weaving lines. There's so many ways you can make marks with what I have here. It's ridiculous. So I'm trying to find my pointy one. So I'm gonna make some lines on this. Actually, I usually put a hole in here at the top to kind of like get some air in here. So just a little. I just remembered that I want to be able to make like a teapot as well. So at some point, all these different ideas that I'm doing, I mean, that looks quite interesting because I just thought of that now. So we'll see if I do something like that. I do want to make a little teapot. It makes no sense, but for some reason I want to try making some teapots. Just talk about trying to leap, to run before you can walk. I just have teapots because I've done a lot of my life, no, still life drawings have teapots in them, and I just thought it'd be really cute to create some little teapots. So look out for that happening at some point. But yeah, all these techniques I'm doing, it's like I'm not thinking too much about it, but it's gonna end up actually doing something at the end of it. I'll end up probably getting some skills I don't know just by doing something I'm comfortable with doing. Like I'm familiar with these characters, so that will get me to not think too much about what I'm doing, and I will end up gaining some skills. So I'm just scratching into this. It's gonna look a bit like a tree branch, possibly. I just thought I'd add some lines. There's probably stages you can do this. You could probably wait till this is harder and then scrape into it a bit more. So trying to hold this precariously. I might do like some sort of a design at the back. I don't know. I want to keep them simple to start off with, then I can play around with any future ones. Because I want to see what these come out like, and I don't want to get too extravagant. So let's see. Just make sure you can see what I've done there. So this little nest has been created. And I'm gonna just write my signature at the bottom. So I think I've learned writing it quickly and lightly is the best to do. And I'll just put it here. So that's that one. Is very quirky. It feels like it's quite squint. I might straighten that out a bit more. I want it to sit correctly. I don't want it to tip over. Let's see. There's so many more details I could put into this, and I have ideas, but that'll be for future reference. And now I'm gonna make the bird actually to go in this. So let's see. I haven't weighed any of these. So this one is a bit bigger. So I would price that slightly more. Possibly. It's thicker. I'll think about it. Let's see. So bird to go into this. So what I've been doing with the birds are making a head. The heads I found were really heavy, so I had to like really think about how I was doing it and leaning their head back. Oh, there's a whole technical fun way of discovering this, because their heads in my illustrations are really big. So I was trying to kind of be true to that, but they seem to get way too big, so I'm kind of feeling my way along with this. So yeah. So I'm gonna do the beak next. And just feeling my way along, seeing what works. It's very surreal to explain, but it is basically drawing with clay. I've not measured any of these up. I'm just kind of going and seeing what works. And if I want it smaller or bigger, let's see, that's too big. Let's take some off. And so yeah, I don't know what my time is for you guys today. I kind of set aside an hour, so we'll see if I can finish this in that time. But yeah, I woke up today and I'm feeling a bit more efficient in how I do it. It's amazing what sleep does. Let's put it that way. That still feels really big. Let's see. This head feels big. Let's try. Yeah, a little bit more off. And I'm going to be joining some things to this head, so I'm very flexible as to what it looks like right now. Because I will be reshaping some of this again. So So I'm gonna leave it as this shape. Very fiddly. So I've made a little triangle and a circle. And I'm gonna put these two together for the beak. So I just put some holes here with this tool, just on this part I'm gonna join, and I do the same for the edge that I'm gonna do on the triangle. I'd say it's the shorter side. And then I'm gonna put some of the clay glue, this kind of slurry here, that mix. That one and on this side. A bit more. Cover every hole. And then put them together. So put that together, I'll just push that together, and I'm just gonna leave this for a minute as I do the body. That's what I did yesterday, so this can be figuring itself out over here. It's very wet and sticky. Just gonna put that down and come back to what's gonna be the body. So when I'm looking at this, let's do some more of this. It's very tiny. I'm trying to think how big the body needs to be for this one. So I've kind of made it into kind of like a pearl drop, very oblong pearl drop. And I'm gonna just shape the tail. I don't separate the tail or anything. I'm just putting everything together to create this tail. Just pinching it a bit this direction. So there you go, pinch. And then this side, I'm gonna put a little bit coming out, pinch again. And I've got to push it down so that it can actually stand as well. And this, it needs to be able to fit into the bird nest. If not, it's gonna be a bit odd. So I've just shaped this neck up, tail up. Make sure it can stand. And I'll fine tune some more things in a minute. So the neck I am now gonna work on to join the head to, and so I do the same thing yet again that I did with the beak and the head. So I'm gonna join this side. So I'm gonna do some dots under the neck or under the head and put some more of this slurry glue here on this neck. And then I'm gonna join these two together. It feels like a slimmer neck than the other ones, but I will make it work. So now I'm gonna shape it. There's different tools you can use. I'm used to using this one, but we'll see if I keep using it for these. So it's just to smooth it down. And then I'm gonna test it to make sure that it actually sits correctly in the nest. Because if it doesn't sit, then that's a problem. So I will go around with like my fingers and smooth bits out. So I'm gonna push that down a bit, push on it, and then I'm gonna go to the beak and try and smooth this out. Just want to make sure it's in view. So it's just like smoothing this areas to blend them. And this is just time, gentle time lost in the detail. I'm gonna take this guy off a minute. And and just concentrate on the bird. Smoothing out this beak a little bit because I'm going to add some details to this. I could let them dry a little bit before I add some more. So smoothing out, smoothing out. Area, so they'll be quite rustic, but it depends how much detail you want to smooth it out. I think you can also sandpaper it once it's dry, though you shouldn't really be getting too much clay dust in the air. So I usually will not do anything else to it because I don't mind some of the rusticness in it, but I will get it as smooth as I can. So I don't want to get any of that dust in the air. So yeah, smoothing it around. Let's see, use the back a bit. And then I'll put some detail in the tail. So let's see, where's my other, well, I'll do the eye first. So I'll do one eye just here, pushing in. And then the other eye on this side. Let's put it down. So delicate. Pushing against this side. I could do, I could have added, you know, a ball in there in the eye to make it stick out and everything, but I don't want to do too much. So I just want to see what they look like initially, and then if I think the glaze looks good and everything, I'm just going to leave it like that. So I'm just going to add some details like to the beak. And also, actually, with this, I do the nose on this side. And then I have done the line here, one there, and another one. I have to do it on the other side as well. So it's like trying to be really careful how I'm holding this. I don't want to make the head bend in a really awkward way. This line is basically across the joint, and so I'm very careful with it. Did I put the line? Yeah, I put the line across the top as well. Join that. And then I put lines on its tail. All the way around. I just thought it'd be nice to have some detail. And then the other part I did was to add some feathers. So let's see. To kind of push in some shapes here. And like wings, I should say, not feathers. But yeah, if it's the first time you're joining, my name is Beatrice Ajayi. I am an artist and I love to create artwork using different mediums. So yeah, this is, and now what I'm gonna do is check that it sits very well in here. So to push this in. Ooh, and I've seen something that I'm not necessarily liking. So the bottom is kind of fine, but this top bit sticks out quite a bit. So I'm gonna cut some of that off. And I'm looking for the tool I used to do that, which is this one. So what I did, let me see if I light on his back, actually. is to cut some of this off. So this hole is a bit bigger. Let's just see if he sits a bit better. Yep, sits a bit better in. And now I'm gonna smooth all of that off. I'm gonna smooth all that. Yeah. Let's cut some more off. Right, let's see. I'm gonna use my fingers to start off with. I could use a sponge, but so as I keep going and going, and I am basically just creating the bird's nest, and yeah. So I'm almost finished with that, and then I will be testing it out again to see if the bird fits. I think this is a bit better. It is like a bit wobbly. I would like it to be smoother, so that takes time to do that. To get it to the way I want it. So it's just pushing it around and smoothing it out a bit more. It's better. And it's organic, so right, let's see what it looks like. I'm gonna just get my lines a bit more back to what they were. That's that one there. Turn this one as well, and another line here. So, yeah. And let's see what the bird looks like in it. This one's actually been one of the most straightforward ones, because usually I've had to push the head back a little bit more than I have it, but I think I've tilted it enough back. So it's not falling over. As you see, the bird can sit, it's not falling over. And then it sits quite well in here. So I'm just gonna check my signature underneath again, just to make sure. But it sits quite well in there as well, which is the whole point of the nest. Right, that is quite so let's see. Smoothing things. Oops, a little doggy barking in the background. So I'm just smoothing that a little bit. I am going to just go over my signature one more time, I think, or is it okay? Let's see. Because I pushed that down. Just lightly. Let's lie that on its back to dry. Or its side, whichever one. And here I am, I think I wrote on the bottom of these as well, did I? I'm sure I did one of them. Just, yep, I did that one. For some reason I didn't do this one. Let's see if I can even still do it. No, that almost sealed, not quite, but close. So that's that one. And will do it on the bottom of this one as well because they just go together. I could technically have put it as house 1, house 2. That all could be more details I could put, but I'm not going to do that. So this scrapes in really hard actually with this. So I might have to sandpaper some of these. Another point. So yeah, that's a really cute one. Let's just see. So it fits in, so I will let that one dry as well. So I've set my alarm actually to go off whenever I need to do that, so it will do that in its time. So I'm gonna go on and cut another slice. I'm trying to think how much these can make each. If I can make another one, or not sure. End up making about 5 of these from the looks of it, possibly. I feel like I could do more. That way for the next cut for the next one. So guys together. Very flimsy way of wrapping this, but for now it'll do for now. So this one I can start another one, basically the same method. I take a pinch away for the bird, and this one will be for the nest. So as I said earlier on, my name is Beatrice Ajayi. I am an artist, multidisciplinary artist, and I like to use different tools. And if this is the first time you've ever been on my channel, welcome. Please do subscribe. I have like different things I like to share on my channel. And today I am sharing this process of creating these bird nests from illustrations that I have created in the past. In fact, I have a sketch here. I don't know how much you can see of the ideas I have for this. Some of them could be hanging ones because in my actual illustrations they hang. So I've got some examples here of what that looks like, and what future wise, as I understand what I'm doing with the clay and what I want to come out of it, I can actually create. So that's what I'm doing here today. And then it's the same process I'm going to repeat that I've already done earlier on. I have a bit that I'm going to put away that's for the bird, and if I take any other ones out of this, if I feel it's too thick, then I will do that. So I had this piece that I have here, and I basically pushed in my tool that I have here and went on to, see, I'm just going to take some of that excess clay and put it somewhere else. Yeah, I went on to create that bird nest from this. So I just pushed it in and started shaping it from twisting it around and then just rubbing the walls from the inside to try and make it bigger, a bigger hollow. And not thinking too much about this area, it cracks a lot, but that's fine. Pushing it in, feeling it around, getting that hollow shape inside. Should really take more of my time on this to create the nests. I'm sure there's other ways to do this. This is just what my brain is telling me at the moment, but I'm sure I could have created maybe a bowl. There's so many ways I could do this to be more like my illustration, more curved at the bottom. I could create 2 parts of a bowl, create that, cut into that, create the cone at the top. So I know that there's other ways I could do this, and I will take my time to do that. I just want to see what it's like if I'll just be overworking myself doing all that. But as I go along, I'm going to work out how else to do this. So yeah, so this is kind of like almost like a pinch pot idea, really. Pushing into the bottom. It's quite meditative. Don't have to think too much about it. So I could take my time and make the walls thinner, push into it a bit more before I cut into it like I did last time. It was a lot thicker walls that I had to then stretch. I found even using my other hand has been quite useful as well, because I'm used to using my right for everything, but my left is quite strong actually when it comes to the clay. So I usually would also like cut a bit of this out. Why? I don't know why I think that this actually does anything. I think it just takes away excess for when I join these parts together. So window's gonna get really mashed together. I just do this and add my glue. But it's gonna be fun to see what colors I can use for this. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. So I've now got basically like it's hollow in here, and this area I cut I usually leave at the back side, so it's like a really weird awkward shape. So in here there's a little hole, and I'm gonna cut into that hole. I use different tools here, so I'm gonna cut about here and see what that's like. So as you can see, there's a hole in there from what I've dug out. And then here I'm trying to think now with my memory of like these holes, and if I need to take some more off the top, possibly. So I'm gonna start shaping it and trying to give it a ground. Let's do that first so that it's got some sit-in stability. Then probably more will need to be cut out at the top here. Yeah, some more will be cut out. Let's just do that now. So I've never done these before. This is like yesterday was the first time I've done that design in the clay, and so with everything there'll be, you know, time for refining, but the point is the nests actually are supposed to look quirky, so I'm actually fine with the rustic way they look. So it's just about thinking of what else to add to them. Elements like I can think of adding leaves. Oh, the list is long of what else is going to be added to these nests. A lot more. A lot more. So I'm just trying to join a little bit at the back here. And I'm trying to keep in tow with the process. Let's see. Just to make sure that I have enough clay added to areas that I can pinch out. So just looking, hoping they're not too thin, too delicate. We'll see. The whole process of glazing is where this is gonna also be interesting for me, because I'm thinking about how I want them to be glazed. So the underside wouldn't have any glazing on it, but I have to be careful when I'm glazing, because it can run down and then stick, and then they can just crack. I really don't want to waste if I can help it. So I'm gonna try very hard to pay attention to that and not put on too much glazing when I get to that stage. Every single bit that looks like it is trying to crack, I will do all I need to do to make sure it's done correctly. Like I'm filling in areas here that look like they might crack. Basically, if you want things to be smooth, you just put your finger into water, and that's how you deal with it. And then you have a smoother journey than trying to do something and it sticks to your finger, and it'll just tear it. So I'm trying to make sure that these edges are smooth, not sharp. And then I'm gonna shape this because I feel like it's too skinny. I want to, right, smooth fingers, pinch it out a bit. Slowly pushing it out. Or pinching it out. It's basically the pinch pop technique going on here. So every area that I want to change or adjust, I'm putting more water on. Creating a foundation so that it sits really well. I can really take my time on this. I'm just gonna check the height on this. I feel like I've naturally been getting the height very similar, which is very interesting. But I might want to pull this up a little bit more, just to get a little bit of standardization in them. So yeah, what design would I put on this one? That's what I'm trying to think. What design would I put on this one? I put lines in that, the other one's smooth. There's so many tools of ways I could mark this. The wall is not too thick, so I could still cut into it. I've got an idea of how I want to try it, so I'm probably going to do that idea. And cut into it. So there is all variety of tools you can use to dig into this. Let's see, go ahead. Like the one I was using before, and there's just so many. Just check to see if I have any out, so I don't have to open any up. Maybe this one. And I've just used the corner there. Just gonna put this, wrap that with it. Yeah, so I'm going to go into the corner. Oh wait, I'm just seeing an area here that is I think I'll be learning a lot from all of this to see how this goes, because I can see areas that look like they want to crack already. So I'm going to, right, should I do all that work before actually seeing if a bird fits in this? So I'm just smoothing some of these around. Right, I need to create a bird. I'm gonna stop talking. I'll create a bird, and then hopefully I have time to show you what design I do on that one. If not, I'm planning to just, okay, let me show you an example. Let's just do, I'm planning to kind of like use this tool and cut out little designs like on the actual clay, so there'll be like divots, like inserts like that. So we'll see what that looks like. And these are all ideas I have for future sculptural creations that I want to make. So I'm needing to really think ahead as to starting to experiment with those shapes and things now. So trying to get the head. So head of bird as one ball, and then you squish it down to like a flat circle, kind of thick flat circle. Beak of bird. Sounds like some very surreal ingredient, this. Let's see how big this beak of bird is. It's a triangle. And then body of bird. So it's very straight to the point. I feel like this is really thick, so I'm gonna make that a bit smaller. So with body of bird, let's see, circle, and then like a little teardrop idea. We do the tail. So whatever shape I want to do that tail, we make it flat. Do the neck. Neck of bird. Smoothing this out a bit. So the bird needs to be able to sit. That's a key criteria for me. Underneath, smooth it out. Bird needs to be able to sit. Top. Right, let's test bird out. Too long. Push his tail up a bit more. His tail feels quite high. Pinch off some tail. Tail too high. And then smooth out tail somehow. With more patience. Put some water on that in a minute. Right, okay, so bird's body sits in nest. Right, we start adding some bits together. So where's my pin thing? I call it a pin. It's not a pin. It's like actually I'm gonna do it the proper way that I do it, because if not I'm gonna change something and I'll be like, oh no, that's not working. So first I do bird and beak together. I have to be careful with this. I could stab up my hand. Right, I need to find my brush, which I've probably knocked somehow for some reason. Here it is. Brush. So slurry glue. put the beak and the head together, and then head together, just smoothing this off. Right, I'm gonna leave that there and go back to the neck here, come back, and then neck of bird on the head here. And then some more gluey stuff. And set it on this neck. I'm going to do the eyes and things. Right, let's take that off. I feel like this is a big bird, but try that again, sitting in its, yeah, it's quite a big bird. And his neck, so I want to do his eyes and stuff. So I want to lean, should I lean his neck? Right, let's see, because there's a thing about weight of the bird, so I think the weight is enough to hold the bird in there. So I'm gonna do its eye. And its nose, which is on the beak. So it's like I've used either end of this tool I have. You get these, they come in your plants, like as a little stake that sometimes has a label on it. So I use one side for the big eye and the smaller side for the nose. So I'll do it on the other side. I can feel the eye about here, so I'll do it there. And then its nose about there. And its beak looks very interesting. It's a quirky beak. Looks like a proper duck kind of beak, actually. So, right, and then it's to start kind of adding details. So I'm adding like going this way and that way, and then like a line. Added his neck fully. I'm gonna have to do that in a minute. So hold in this beak, beak, and then pulling away because of the way I'm holding it that way. And I'm gonna now start working on his neck because it's not fully joined. It's not fully joined at all. Okay, it's got a long neck. So I'm trying to make sure that this is fully joined. Smooth it out. Push it. Smooth as possible. All the areas. So basically I managed to do 2 in this 1 hour session, which is quite good. I'll have a break. I've not had breakfast yet. It's terrible, but I wanted to get this done for you early this morning. I'm surprised my tummy hasn't rumbled a lot more, to be honest, because it was doing that even before I got out of bed. Oh no, it's like it's on cue. It's trying to do it right now. Right, so, and then start creating a design on the side. And maybe because I want to use that design on the actual side of the, I might just do that on the actual bird. Let's see, is it gonna turn strange with the ghost? Oh, there's my alarm right there on cue. Alexa, stop. So yeah, this looks like it's going to be more fiddly than it needs to be. So I'm going to do it the usual way because that is not working for me at all. So I'm just going to make as usual bird wings. Oh yeah, I've just remembered I've not done the tail as well. So that needs to happen. So I'll finish this one off and then that'll be me. So it's a lot of fun actually creating characters from your illustrations. Something I've always wanted to do, the three-dimensional side of it. And I could have been doing like the little kid characters, which I'll think about in future how I want to do that. But the thing is, animals tend to be more of a unifiable thing, I'd say, than if I did kids. And I don't know, some people would be feeling funny about collecting little model kids. So unless you're a specific kind of collector, it's probably very niche. Whereas this is just like a decorative, ooh, the bird. So this is quite straight to the point. So now I'm trying to think what I should use to decorate this outside bit. I've not signed things, so that might be another way to go soon. It's quite wet under that. So I'll still wait for that a little bit. I am remembering things I've not done yet. So I've not put the hole at the top of this. Which I usually do because, I don't know, maybe it helps it dry better. I don't know, this thing about having a hole at the top. And then I'm trying to think of what design to put on this. Because I just tried that now and not really sure if I want to do it all over it. Maybe I could do just half of it with the design. Is that gonna look odd? I don't know if it's thick enough for this. I don't know if I want to use this and start now and then just really regret it. Maybe from, let's try a little bit. Something stuck in there. Let's start and see, and if this doesn't work, it'll be annoying. Let's just say that. Let's see. I need to commit, I think. I don't think I was committing before. Maybe I'll just do the top because it's very like specific and take my time. Need to concentrate. There's no more talking time now. Gosh. It's like a different way of doing things than I'm used to. So I'm having to figure out how the clay is on it. Oh, so scary. So I have to commit. Hold this in a specific way. It's very awkward. I probably should wait till it's a lot firmer. I think that's what I'm learning from this. That's probably another thing. So fine. I'll remember that for future reference. So I think I'll just do a little bit of it, not all of it. My gosh, this is so scary. And then what I will do is just run my hands over to smooth some stuff out. smooth it out. I'm probably adding way too much water, but I don't want any sharp areas on this. So, and then I've not signed things, so I'm gonna do that in a minute. Just want to get this. Right, all these little bits I need to get rid of. Right, some water, put that in there. I'm just trying to clean this up this little bit. So I think, yeah, for now that will be all I'll do. So I've got this one and this little bird. And I'm going to sign them on the bottom. Yeah, I think when it's drier, it's a lot better, possibly. I don't know. I'll work it out. So I've got that, the bird, everything. Yeah, that looks quite firm. I'm hoping these all work when we go to the kiln, because that's going to be the main thing for all of them. So I will show you the pieces and hopefully they will all make it. Just sign in underneath this one now. I know people have a stamp and things that they use for this, so we'll see if in the future I get one of those. But at the moment, that's what I've got. So yeah, we got 4 of them now. So I think I could still do another 2. So that will be about 6 of them from this. So we'll see how we go. I will keep going because I might do some more later today because I want to have them all dried so that they can all go together into kiln whenever that needs to happen. So that will be cool. But yeah, thank you for joining me today. And I created these 2. Which were fun. I'll leave them alone there. Yeah, these are still going ahead and drying and they're just look cute. I just love them. And they'll get lighter as they get drier, but my gosh, they're beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, I'll see you in the next Wednesday live. So yeah, take care. Try out using some clay as well yourself. It is amazing fun. And I can't wait to share the results with you, basically, to share what comes out of it. So I'm going to clean up here and go and have some breakfast because it's calling my name quite a bit. And I'll see you in the next one.